All right, I just changed my Wi-Fi reception. I have something quick that I want to share before I have about 20 minutes. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy Sunday or Monday, whatever it is for you guys. Hi, Yogi Joe Guy. Hi, Peace with Pam. Good morning. Hello, Santa Fe. I wanted to share something that was coming in. It's been coming in for a couple days for me personally. And it's definitely been interesting what I'm watching myself experience. Good morning. Hi, Derek. Okay, so here's what it is. Maybe you're going through it. Maybe you'll relate. Maybe you won't. But as you know, we're going through a massive evolutionary shift in our consciousness, right? I talk about it all the time. And I'm obsessed with it. It's all I'm doing in my own personal life. One of the things that I have been noticing as of late, hi Canada, thank you so much for the badge. Grow with Paula. One of the things I've been noticing is there is an aspect of me that I call higher self that is continuing to pull out of my life any attachment that I have to anything that makes me believe that it is important, that it builds my confidence, that it allows me to feel successful or smart or pretty or seen. What are the things externally in my life, this is what I'm going through, in my life that I believe make me who I am? Like, I need a certain amount of followers. I need a certain amount of money. I need a certain amount of success. I need to a number one bestseller. I need to sell a certain amount of tickets. I need to have a stadium full of, like, what is it? I need to continue to rise in my company. I need to hear from my best friend or my partner 3 times a day. I don't know. But whatever it is right now that makes you feel like you need it in order to feel good about yourself, that's the attachments that need to dissolve right now for you. That's the attachments, because it is all an illusion. And it's not easy, because this is the dichotomy of what we're going through in this world. It's physical and energetic. At the end of the day, it's all purely energetic. But because we live in this third dimensional field of existence, this physicality, everything's physical. But beyond that physicality, it is all energetic. So we tend to use these terms of it's all an illusion. Okay, yes, that's true, but it's also not true. And so the physicality is fun. It's beautiful to experience the external world and to feel great when you are with people and when you have success and when you go and buy a big, huge house and when you have a new car. Yes, those are all amazing experiences. But if you are attached to those things, meaning they make you feel good, they make you feel successful, they make you feel like you made it, then it's an illusion. Then it is actually a disservice, because it is making you believe that the external world is more powerful than who you are inside. That you need the external world to give you gratification, to give you the high five. And this isn't something that is easily sort of released. This isn't something that we can easily let go of, because there's a gray line between, do I need this to make myself feel good? If it was pulled from me, would I still feel good inside? If the house was pulled from me, if the success was pulled from me, if the followers were pulled from me, if the success of a book was pulled from me, if I'm in a relationship with a really handsome or beautiful person, and I feel so good about myself, if that was pulled from me, if all the millions of people, that, let's say you're a famous person, right? And all these people love you and follow you. And if they were gone, how would you feel about yourself? And if you would still sit in that in the worthiness, regardless of what you have, regardless of how many people love you and follow you and admire you, regardless of how much money you have in the bank, regardless of where you live and what car you drive, then you've mastered this world. Then you've made it. And that's what we are evolving into. And there's nothing easy about it because, again, the physical world is fun. It's about understanding the difference, you guys, between attaching to the external world and experiencing the external world. If I am detached, let's say, okay, from my book being successful when it comes out, or being successful in my work, okay, if I am detached from it, what that means is that if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, great. I'm going to be okay either way. So you want to start asking yourself, if this was pulled from me, would I still be okay? Would I still feel worthy? Would I still feel loved? Would I still feel seen? Or do I need these things in order to feel okay in this world? And to get honest, because I'm going to promise you, wherever you are in your evolution, your higher self or spirit or soul, God, whoever, whatever you want to call it, I call it higher self, this version of us that is guiding us. If your higher self is going to continue to show you what in the external world you are attached to. And the way it's going to show you that is it may slowly start to rattle it. Meaning it's not going to be as easy as it was. There's going to be an effort or a crunchiness to it. For example, you used to have all this success in your work and now something feels off about it and you're not capable of having the same type of success, right? Or you are in a house that you thought was like the greatest thing ever, and now all of a sudden financially you're having to move into a smaller house. Or you have always built yourself on how having tons of relationships and friendships in your life make you feel important, and now all of a sudden you're not resonating with a lot of people, so you're finding yourself alone. Your higher self is naturally going to pull from you the attachments that you have in the external world. And it's asking you, she or he, to let go. To trust that who you are inside is way, way, way more awesome than what the external world can show you. Then the magic of what happens when you let go is that the external world, the universe, wows you by giving you more than you ever thought. That's the crazy piece about this. The crazy piece about this is the second you let go of what you are so attached to, what you think you need, what you think makes you happy, what you think brings you love or success or recognition, the second you let it go, you said, take it from me, I'm done, is the second you are inundated by the universe with even more than you could possibly imagine. Because I know and I believe that through this evolution in human consciousness that you're going through right now, you are not designed to be in lack. You are not designed to be in suffering. You are not designed to be in struggle. We're not designed to be alone, even though most of us feel alone right now. The aloneness that we're feeling is letting go of the attachments that we need people in our lives in order to feel unalone, in order to feel like we're a part of the world. But what you're noticing is that you don't resonate with most people right now. So you can't go against that higher self. And when you start letting go of that attachment, then you're going to start to, the universe is going to bring to you so much more. But it's this in between that we're in right now. This in between stage of letting so much go in our lives, paying attention to what we're still attached to, recognizing there's nothing wrong with you, even if you're attached to things, because that's part of the human experience. Starting to really ask yourself, if this was taken from me, how would I feel? Recognizing where your suffering is coming from. Most of the time, our suffering is coming from the resistance of that which is trying to be taken from us so that we can evolve, so that we can jump into higher versions of us. Really ask yourself if you are in like a suffering state, like you feel like you're suffering, like you're in kind of like, I like to call it like I'm in pain, even though there's no physical pain. It's like, God, this is painful. You know, when it feels like, oh, this growth spurt is painful because I am being asked to stretch beyond what I'm comfortable with right now. It really feels painful. Like, can I let this go? Can I let this go? And being compassionate with yourself, being loving with yourself as you start to consciously, as the observer, even more begin to navigate what you're in, navigate what you're going through, right? All of us right now are moving from old versions to new versions, all of us. And the new versions have very few attachments to the external world, and yet are experiencing the gifts of the external world: abundance, joy, freedom, love, success. You understand that see, a lot of people have this black and white mentality where if someone says, like myself, we are learning how to detach, then it's like, well, if you detach from things, then how are you going to enjoy life? Then you're not going to enjoy life. Okay, no. No. You are going to learn how to be in a new state of being where you are receiving even more than you ever have without the need for it, without the ego, this egoic structure that needs so much from the external world in order to be fed, in order to feel good. The ego it's not necessarily dying, but it's dying. But it's not going anywhere, right? So the ego never dies. The ego just learns that it's no longer in charge. And the ego is attached to the external world. The ego is attached to the nice car, the nice clothes, the fancy house. Look at how I can travel all over the place. Look at my fancy jet, right? Look at how many followers I have all over the place. Look at how successful I am. Look at how much money I have, right? And it's tricky. It's a trickster energy, the ego, because many people will convince themselves that the ego is not in charge. They will convince themselves that they're not attached to it, that they don't need it. And most of us do. And when you evolve into these higher states of consciousness, your ego is going to be pushed to the side. And that's when life really starts to get good, because that is when you really start to understand what this life is all about, which is that as long as the ego is involved in leading the charge, you will never reach your highest potential. You will never hit the abundance in the way that you are. And abundance isn't just money. Abundance is having so much more than what you could imagine of anything. Of peace, of flow, of presence, of love, of happiness, of laughter. It's abundance. The universe is filled with this consciousness of abundance. This cloud called abundance that's constantly here. But you can't step into abundance if you are attached. So a lot of people, that's why manifestation is so tricky. Because you're attaching to an external outcome in order to feel good. In order to feel like you are, you've succeeded, that you're loved, whatever it is. That's why we want to be real careful with manifestation. Because is it the ego driving that desire, or is it my soul? You want to ask yourself, is it the ego that is driving this, or is it my soul? Is it my spirit? Because your spirit doesn't need anything from the external world. Your soul doesn't need anything from the external world. Your higher self doesn't need anything from the external world, but it sure as heck is going to devour the external world like a buffet from a detached space. So just pay attention right now. Especially because I know that I have been the last couple of days in this very uncomfortable place where it feels like I'm in pain because I'm being asked to let go of even more. And I don't have a lot in my life to let go of. So each time my higher self says, I need you to let go of this, it's hard to describe, but it's almost like this nauseating feeling of like, are you kidding? Like, how do I even, and you don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know how to let go other than consciously choosing to see that I'm attached to it and lovingly telling myself that it's okay to let it go, meaning I don't need it. It doesn't make me who I am. I'm so much more than it. And what happens when I do trust that? Do I trust that the universe will wow me? Do I trust that? We are moving into, and nobody has to go in this direction, nobody has to believe this, but we truly are moving into an absolutely new, upgraded way of living, a new human, the upgraded human. And your way of experiencing the world is going to change. You're going to have more success and love and abundance and joy and peace from internally. It's going to build from internal, not external. And it's extremely important to be honest with ourselves. It's really important to be honest with ourselves and to take care of ourselves like a little puppy. We deserve it. We deserve to hold ourselves and to pat ourselves on the back and to be okay with wherever we are in this world. And to trust our resonance, meaning trust your intuition, trust what you are feeling with people. Trust it. If you can't trust you, who can you trust? Why are you trusting other people before yourself? You should always be trusting you first. Not an expert, not a physician, not your best friend, not somebody that's got 4 million followers, not someone that's written 25 books. That's an old paradigm. That's a deep, deep program that keeps us disempowered because we have been programmed to believe that these people, label them whatever you want, they know more than me, so I'm going to listen to them instead of myself. We are here to learn how to listen to us first. Even if it makes no sense, even if people call you crazy, even if it doesn't work in this programmed world that we live in, because you're stepping out of programming. You're stepping out of how everybody else in the world does it because you're going first. That's why you feel maybe like you're different. That's why you feel like nobody understands you. That's why you feel like when you're in social situations, you're like, what is going on here? Right? But you're doing it with an open heart. You're doing it with love and compassion and empathy for yourself and everyone else because you are going first in this evolution, becoming a new upgraded human, whether you understand that and whether you believe that or not. That's what's happening. And you'll probably, if you were to really inspect what's going on in your life, you're probably like, oh, maybe that's what's going on. So we can either resist it and eventually fall to our knees and say, okay, I'm done resisting, or we can slowly start to engage with this evolution. We can slowly start to remember all day long that everything that I'm experiencing is my evolution. You can start to say to yourself all day long, there is nothing wrong with me, no matter what anyone says. Because what you're probably also noticing is that most people may not understand you. And so they're going to try to convince you to move back to that older version of you because that made sense to them. So they need you to make them comfortable. They don't like the new version, perhaps. They don't like that they can't predict what you're going to do. They don't like that you're not following the rules or whatever that is, right? People want to be around people that are similar to them. It's quote unquote human nature, which is really just a program. So there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your intuition. There's nothing wrong with all of the ways in which you are being asked to live now. that are not similar to the rest of the world, because the rest of the world is slowly catching up to what's actually happening here, which is an evolution in human consciousness. And we just have compassion for everybody. But your intuition is going to get louder and louder. You're not going to necessarily like what it's saying. You're not necessarily going to like what you're going to see with people in your life. Behaviors, reactions, responses. I want you to recognize, you guys, right now, that you are becoming more energetic. And when you become more energetic, you start to feel who people really are. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter their behaviors. It's how you feel with them that matters. Because you can't deny the feeling, i.e. the energy exchange. Everything is energy. I am energetic. You are energetic. We are encased in physicality, but it is energy that has always dictated our experience. Always. We digest an experience as energy into our physical bodies, and we dissect it with our subtle bodies, emotional, mental, and physical. And then we have emotions and thoughts and beliefs and behaviors around it, but it is energy. So when you are engaging with another individual, you are engaging with their energy first. So it doesn't matter what they're saying. It doesn't matter what their behaviors are. It matters how you feel. Something feels off. Something feels passive aggressive. Something feels like they're not being honest, right? Those are what you want to pay attention to. When you walk into your job, same thing. Oof, there is something off here. I need to feel into this. What is this? This isn't going away. This is only going to get stronger. And I can guarantee you, you're not always going to like what you feel. In fact, a lot of the time you're going to wish that you didn't have the ability to feel as much as you are feeling. I'm not talking about one of those highly sensitive empaths, okay? Because I don't believe in that. I believe that we are all energetic and that we are all empathic and that we are all sensitive to energies. It's just a matter of how programmed we are. That's it. So this isn't about being an empath or a highly sensitive empath or all of these programmed states that we've convinced ourselves that we are. I'm talking about you being an energetic human, which every single person is, and how that energetic radar is going to get louder and louder and louder. So your radar, your energetic field, is going to start picking up more and more other people's energetic fields. And wowzers, is it going to get loud. And you're not necessarily going to like what you feel, quote unquote feel. So trust it. Trust everything right now within you, not what anybody else says or thinks or believes or feels, including teachers like myself, including any other teacher that you listen to, including some sort of guru or professional or, somebody, some science, somebody that has all their degrees. And that is all bullshit. All of that is bullshit. You don't know who anybody is. There could be some massive, huge, big spiritual teacher with 5 million followers, and they're not walking their talk. And there's a lot of them out there. So you don't listen to anybody but yourself. You can ask people for suggestions or recommendations of what they think, but go back to you. When you start moving into higher states of consciousness and you start to become sovereign, you stop letting anybody else tell you your truth. And this is a very deep program. So it's very challenging to step out of that program where it's like this hierarchy, okay? Where if you're really high up and super famous and make all this money and have all these books, then you must know. And I must believe. And I must listen. Nah, I don't think so. Next. No, I don't. I don't care. Why? Because I'm programmed to believe that? What if it doesn't resonate? We have to really start questioning everybody, including myself. You should always be questioning what I'm saying. You should always be questioning what anyone else is saying, always. And ask yourself if it resonates with you. You don't just blindly listen to people and make it your truth, and all of a sudden you have to do these things because this person's doing it. You're becoming energetic, so trust you. You're becoming energetic, so you're being asked to let go of attachments. Pay attention. Pay attention to what is being asked of you to let go of. Okay? It's big right now. It's big, it's big, it's big. And you're doing it. So give yourself a pat on the back. You know, give yourself a pat on the back. This is not a walk in the park. This is evolution. This is you constantly, all day long, shifting. All day long, you're shifting. You don't pause in evolution. And I can promise you that where you are, what you are shifting into is inside of you, so you're not going anywhere. And all it is accessing consciousnesses that have always been available in this quantum field that we haven't necessarily accessed and embodied in the way that we are designed to, which is flow, peace, presence, abundance, love, joy. These are consciousnesses in the quantum field that we have access to all day long, that we tap into every once in a while, but we're so deeply programmed that we have all of these conditions on us, all of these limiting beliefs on us, all of this trauma on us, that it is almost impossible for us to grab these free consciousnesses in the quantum field and say, I'm going to embody abundance now, thank you. I'm going to embody love now, thank you. I'm going to embody joy now, thank you. What's happening is that all of these other limiting beliefs are popping up so that you can let go of them, so that you can embody the consciousnesses that want to be embodied. You are letting go of the trauma. So all of the doubt, all of the lack, all of the insecurities, all of it's coming up. It's a gift. It's all coming up as a gift in order to show you what is blocking you from embodying these higher consciousnesses: abundance, love, peace, joy, presence, flow. They're free. Anyone can get them. Anyone can embody them. How much programming, how much trauma, how much resistance, how much limiting beliefs, how much shadow do you have blocking you from accessing those higher states that are right here, right now for everyone? That's what's coming up. And the more that you believe that you need certain things outside of you in order to experience the consciousnesses that are available for free in the quantum field, the more you are going to be in a hamster wheel, believing that you need these external things in order to provide for you what is free in the quantum field. That's why letting go of attachment is huge right now. Because everything that you are designed to experience in this world is internal. Because it is quantum. It is an energy. It is not from something or someone else. And when you start mastering that, then you get to experience the external world in so much joy, in so much freedom, in a detached state where it's like, what else is coming? What else is coming? What else is going to be brought to me? Because you don't need it anymore. You don't need it anymore. Because you have let go of all the programming, all the trauma, all the shadow, all the limiting beliefs. So every single thing that is popping up for you right now is an opportunity to start to step into so much more. Don't beat yourself up. Give yourself way more love. Give others more love. Don't beat other people up. Have more compassion and empathy for yourself now more than ever. And have more compassion and empathy for every single human that is going through this, and especially those that have no idea they are. I love you guys so much. I'll save this. It'll be on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Be gentle with yourselves. Get outside in the sun if you can. Ground yourself. Get barefoot. Get your feet on the ground. Get your feet on sand or dirt or grass or anything right now. It's so imperative that we anchor down into what is happening within us right now in our bodies. And bare feet is key. Walk on the cement bare feet. Just get on your bare feet. Grounding. I love you guys. Be gentle with yourself.